Hey, it's been a minute. I know I haven't uploaded a real video in a while, so I figured I'd put out a little something about where I am and what I'm doing for the 5 people who still remember this channel. I've been erming about making a video like this for probably a few months now, so I figured I'd just do a quick one-take Jake narration, cut any dead air, put it over some TF2 footage or whatever, and call it a day. This is just gonna be an unscripted, ramble-type video, so if you wanna tab out and put this on in the background while you do your homework or your taxes or whatever, go ahead and do that. So, where have I been? What have I been up to besides making videos? Well, a couple things. I'd say the past year or two of my life have really been characterized by lots of sudden and major changes. You know, I graduated, got a full-time job, moved out of my parents' house. I actually ended up moving in with my guy Biff, who you might recognize as Peppino in real life and Luigi in Hotel Mario in real life. We've been rooming together for about a year, and that's all well and good. I got a new microphone, which I haven't done a whole lot with. I got a tablet. I got an art tablet, I've been drawing with it. I took up drawing as a hobby, I want to say like 2 years ago was when I started doing it regularly. And that was when I was doing it with a mouse and paint.net, and you know, that was fun. But I've been going hard with the tablet and Krita lately, and yeah, it's been going great. If you want to see more of the stuff I made, I am posting everything I draw to my Blue Sky account, Comic Franz, so you can follow me there if you want. Part of the reason I'm making this video, actually, is that I am, changing my username. Yes, I am finally abandoning the username I came up with as a preteen. Comic Franz is what I generally go by on most platforms these days, and Zdiglet's not bad. It's, you know, it's nostalgic, it's cozy. It's Pokemon, I like Pokemon, but, you know, it's derivative, and I don't like feeling, you know, too tied to one specific thing or series, and Comic Franz is just more original, and that's gonna be a big thing I talk about in this video, being less derivative, more original, blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm probably gonna give it like a day after I post this video to change it on YouTube, just so, you know, the people who are paying attention will see this in their sub box and they won't be like, what? When did I sub to this Comic Franz guy? But yeah, that's gonna be happening. Aside from all that, I've hit a few conventions. I've done Otakon, I went as Morshu a couple times, and a few people actually recognize me specifically from the video, which is kind of funny. Most recently, this past weekend, I went to Zenkai-Con as the soldier from Team Fortress 2. And that was that was an amazing time. I stayed in character the whole time, which I consider an accomplishment because I had to talk like this for the entire weekend. But yeah, it was great. I met some really great people, saw some great cosplays, and I'm thinking I might want to get big into cosplay myself after this, but that's maybe a story for another time. But yeah, that's mainly what I've been up to as far as, like, you know, creative pursuits. I've also been a regular on my buddy Deluxe's stream, if you want to check him out. We are currently doing a weekly playthrough, I guess, called Ace of Tuesday, where we play through all the Phoenix Wright game, all the Ace Attorney games, I suppose. We bring all our stupid voices to the table, we narrate the dialogue and shit, it's great, it's a wonderful time. We have a deep, trusting relationship with the prostitutes. Oh, shit! You know, you can come check it out if you really want more of me for some reason, because I'm on that. So now we're getting to the juicy part, you know, why no videos? Where are all the videos? If I'm doing all that, why am I not making the videos? And, I'm sorry to say there's not really much of a story there. If you want to know why when I stopped making videos, we're gonna have to go back. You know, we're gonna have to go way back. Back to the beginning for most of you, anyway. You know, November of 2020, I upload the Morshu video, and the algorithm picks it up, it goes nuts, it pops off, it's, you know, it's wonderful. And my channel was at, I want to say, like, triple-digit subs at that point, if even. Which, you know, was fine by me, because I wasn't making any sort of attempts to grow the channel then. I wasn't uploading daily or anything. It was literally just a place for me to put my stuff when I made it. Which, that's one thing, you know, I hate using the word content, right? It skeeves me off when people use the word content to describe what they make. Because the word content literally just means stuff. Right? It's pure industrial grade stuff. So by calling what you make content, you are literally just saying you make stuff. Anyone can make that stuff, you know? I don't like it. I think it's generic. It's bordering on corporate speak now. It's just I don't like it. Content is out, people. Content is out. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, right, the channel and the subs and all that. Yeah, and when the Morshoe video first went up, and people started seeing it, that was when I got this huge influx of, subscribers and view counts. And the thing about the numbers, right? The thing about the numbers on social media in particular is that, like, social media in general is designed to, like, get you hooked on the high of, like, seeing numbers go up, getting interactions and shit, and YouTube's no different. But the thing about, when the numbers hit you all at once like that is it changes you, right? Even if you don't normally care about that stuff, which I usually don't, even if you don't think you care about that stuff, when you have that sort of, like, instant fame and popularity thrown upon you, there's this little voice nagging in the back of your head, like, okay, bud, you've got all these people now who want to see your stuff. What are you gonna do with it, right? What are you gonna do? Nothing? No. So after those videos came out and I got all these views, all these subs, I was just hit with this sudden self-imposed pressure to make videos, and it wasn't put on me by any one person, anyone in particular, or anyone at all even. It was literally just me, knowing how YouTube goes and how, people fall in and out of the algorithm and whatnot, and, this was my chance, this was my chance to hit it big. And that's not really something I ever wanted out of YouTube, it's not something that, it was never a goal to, like, get popular or be seen. But, when the opportunity presents itself like that, it's really hard to not, tell yourself every hour of every day, you need to be working towards this thing, or it's just gonna slip away. It just feels like a waste. And that led to a really unhealthy relationship with the process of making videos. Because I was in college at the time too, right? And this was, the Morshoe video popped off in, like, it really popped off in winter break, basically. So I didn't have that much time to get to work on my next video before the schoolwork started to kick in again. Also, I got addicted to Slay the Spire at the time, but, we can ignore that. And, with the new semester came, all these reading assignments and quizzes and crap like that. I barely even remember what it was. It feels so long ago now. But I just had all this stuff that I needed to do. And by the time I got done with the stuff I needed to do, what I wanted to do was not always make videos. I didn't always want to tap away the Google Doc or record narration or cut down clips or whatever, gather footage, all that stuff. That wasn't what I wanted to do, every single day. In fact, dare I say, after a long day, that's usually what I didn't want to do. And this is back when I was using Lightworks to edit my videos, which, pro tip about using Lightworks, don't. But it led to this thing where I felt like crap when I wasn't working on videos. And I was just always telling myself, hey, you need to work on this video. You need to put out this video before the algorithm drops you. No one's gonna see it, man. So I just felt really bad for indulging in my hobbies that weren't making videos. And that's something I'm still working on, It's really just a thing about getting older where the less free time you have, the more precious your time becomes, The more you value it to the point that it becomes like a paralysis thing, If I'm not being productive, I feel like I'm wasting my time, which leads to me just sort of not indulging in my hobbies at all. And I'm trying to work on that. My sought New Year's resolution this year, actually, was to play more of my Steam backlog, because I have so many fucking games I haven't even touched, and I know that I need to play them. I never thought I'd need to make it a goal to play more video games, but that's just part of not being a kid anymore, I guess. And I'm not even a super busy guy or anything. I know I'm pretty free outside of my 9 to 5, but that still doesn't mean I can just veg out in front of the Wii for hours guilt-free, And this whole process is why I make it a point to not make any hobby feel like work now. Like, this whole thing really taught me that my hobbies immediately stop being fun the second I feel like I need to do them. Which is why I never think I would want to do any of my hobbies for a living, Like, imagine that you love Legos, right? You build Lego sets every day, you're the best dude on your street at making Lego sets, and you love them so much that one day the king of Legoland himself comes up knocking at your door and is like, hey, we want you to join us and build Lego sets every single day for the rest of your life. And because you love Legos, you agree to it, but then you realize that you now have to build Legos every single day, or you die. And they're not even the Legos you want to make either. Like, let's say you wake up really wanting to make a crocodile, but the boss really wants a crane. Too bad, fucker, you're making that crane. That's where I don't want to be with my hobbies, because I just think it would suck all the joy out of it, and I wouldn't enjoy it anymore. That's exactly what happened to me with making videos around this time. And then I got the next video out, the TF2 one, in May, and lo and behold, nobody fucking saw it. None of my subscribers did. It didn't get pushed out to anybody. It was just did not register at all. And that was a real bummer back then, you know, like, oh, you blew it. Now I don't care, you know. I've pretty much internalized by now that I just make what I want to make, and I don't care if I have an audience or if people see it. But back then, when I like wanted to capitalize, it was a real shame. But yeah, in retrospect, I can't really say I regret it or how any of that went, because I don't think I'd be happy, right? If my channel popped off and I kept the momentum, rode the wave, and my channel became like a silver play button popular thing or whatever, I don't think I'd be any happier that way, right? And part of it is because, you know, I had that existing, you know, complex about working on videos. But, you know, I also just generally think that YouTube as a platform is very mean to people who don't treat it like a job, you know? Like, if you're not uploading at least weekly, then you basically don't exist. And that's kind of how the internet is too, right? You don't post for 2 weeks and you're dead. But YouTube especially is really bad about that. And having any sort of upload schedule really doesn't seem sustainable for me. Like I said, it's a hobby. I don't want to force any sort of rigidity onto it. So, in a sense, I'm glad that it never took off or popped off. Like, even if I tried, I don't know how far I could have taken the Morshu guy gimmick anyway. Like, Morshu prank videos! Like, no, that would have fucking tanked. And even people who do treat it like a job, this website's not very nice too. Like, there's a reason all your favorite YouTubers take sponsorships or plug their Patreons or sell merch or whatever. It's because YouTube, as its own thing, is not a sustainable career unless you're insanely lucky and hit like the top 1% of the top 1%, right? And here's just a little tip, you know, from your Uncle Diglett. Here's a little bonus wisdom for sticking with me so far. If you see it in a YouTube sponsorship, don't buy it. Don't buy it. It's not worth it. It's either a scam or it's so shitty that it's not worth your money or your time if it's free. My anecdote with this is Raycons, right? The earbuds. You know, I caved to the hype. I thankfully didn't buy them myself. They were a Christmas gift from my parents, I think. But I had mine for, I want to say, maybe half a year before I dropped the case once. I dropped the case, not even with the earbuds in them. I just dropped the case. And then I started having all these awful connectivity issues with the earbuds, started cutting out, not pairing right. By now, I'm pretty sure the right earbud doesn't even fucking work. And this was for a, you know, quote-unquote premium pair of wireless earbuds. But yeah, just generally speaking, don't buy it if it's in a YouTube sponsorship. I mean, you really gotta think, like, if the best these idiots can do to advertise their product is pay a bunch of basement dwellers making white boy video essays to advertise it, you know, how good can it really be? I don't know, it just feels like every week you hear a new thing about some YouTube sponsorship being a scam or stealing your data or something. I don't know, it's not worth, you know, no hate to the people who take this stuff, because like I said, it's just a byproduct of the ecosystem that modern YouTube is, that they even had to do this, and it sucks that they do. It's one of the many, many, many things I don't like about, you know, modern YouTube, which could honestly be its own video by now. But yeah, if I had to pretend to be excited about Raid Shadow Legends for a living, I don't think I'd be very happy doing that. But yeah, after that initial hit of disappointment with the TF2 video, which you might notice, you know, it's not even up anymore, a while back I went back and unlisted a bunch of my old videos, mainly like the video essay type stuff, just for not being very good or representative of, you know, who I am. Just being boring and cookie cutter and not having any sort of style. Yeah, I just don't like those videos anymore. So I unlisted them, and I don't think much of value was lost, quite frankly. But yeah, ever since then, making all those videos got me to realize how much I just don't really like making long videos generally. Like, gathering footage is always a pain in the ass, game footage especially, because like, Jesus Christ, I'm not breaking out my GameCube and plugging in my my Elgato to the GameCube. But then if you don't do that, you gotta like, either you gotta like emulate the game and screen record it, or you gotta like, I don't know, grab some footage from some dude's YouTube channel, which might not even be what you need, and It's just such a hassle, such a pain in the ass. And then I gotta sit down and record narration, and finding time to record is another thing. Like right now, the birds are going nuts outside my window, and I don't even care because I just want to get this over with. But yeah, it's just a huge process, all for something that doesn't feel like something I made, you know? The video essay type stuff, it feels derivative, right? There's that word again, derivative. And not in like the funny way that YouTube poops are derivative, just it feels unoriginal, like anyone could have, you know, made my video. It doesn't feel like I'm making anything or putting out anything into the world that didn't exist before. And that's a big part of what dissatisfied me about, you know, the stuff I was making around that time. And that's a big part of why I chose to go unscripted with this video, you know, just to be a little more genuine with it, because I really don't like how, you know, how fake those videos sound, you know? It's not me. I don't like it. So, if I ever did make another one of those videos, I don't know how I'd go about making it more or, you know, less boring, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't think I really want to make those videos again anytime soon. And none of this is me saying, fuck YouTube, I'm done with this shit, but it's more or less just a rationale for why I, you know, sort of fell off and let the channel die like it did. I just got bored, really. I just got bored and realized I didn't like doing it much anymore, or at least didn't like the types of videos I was making before. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna keep the channel up and upload when I feel like it. So I'm not killing the channel or anything. In the future, I don't know, maybe like maybe some art focused stuff if people want to see that. Maybe more rambles like this, you know, that could be something. I don't know, some YouTube poops if I ever get any good ideas for those. That sounds like a fun time. I grew up on the YouTube poops back when those were hot on the scene, so to speak. So yeah, I do definitely want to make more of those at some point. I just kind of need good ideas for sources and an excuse to, you know, make something. I like the Cryptoland one I made a lot, but I definitely would want to make something a little meatier. But yeah, I don't want this to come off as me like moaning about, my channel doesn't get views anymore. I'm only happy if I have views. No, if anything, I've reconciled, you know, instead of making things for other people, I can just make for myself. I just make things for me, and I don't particularly care if people see it. I just want to be proud of making something new, something original, something that didn't exist before, and something that couldn't exist if I didn't make it. And that's a big part of why, you know, I find drawing to be so much more fulfilling than making videos, because it actually feels like I'm making something, right? It feels like I'm making something from the heart, and it's real, and not like stitching together a bunch of generic gameplay clips from some other dude's channel that's not even mine. But yeah, if there's any one takeaway from this video, find the thing that makes you happy, right? And that's probably the most unhelpful thing you could possibly hear, but if you feel like you don't have a passion for something, that probably just means you haven't found the right thing yet. Like, I started from basically nothing with art. I didn't have any formal training, I didn't take any classes or anything like that. I just started doing it because I really wanted to draw something, and I drew that thing over and over. It was a character. It was an OC. It was a tabletop character. It's cringe, I know, but I'm just being open and honest here. But now I look at it as something I really like to do. I'm not amazing at it or anything, but I've observed the improvements over years and years of doing it, and it just feels good, you know? It feels good in a way that making videos didn't, really. But yeah, if there's something you've ever even kind of wanted to do, I can't recommend enough just making the jump and going for it. Art especially is a pretty, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Accessible. It's an accessible hobby. Like, you don't even need a tablet or a computer or anything. You can just scribble in a notebook at the mall or something, you know? So that's I guess my actual piece of biglet advice for the day. So yeah, I think that's gonna about be this video. Maybe I'll do more like rambly fireside chat type things like this in the future if I think of something. Like I said, it's not me ending the channel or anything. It's really just clearing the air, if only for my sake. So yeah, that's about all I got. See ya.